What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode, and happy Friday. It's the weekend, thank God. It's been a long week at work for me, and I'm tired of sweating and being hot. Got a great episode for you today. We're going to be doing Attack of the Clones. Yes, we're going to do another inspired by, dupes, clones, whatever you want to call them. All these clones, dupes, inspired bys are all coming from the same house, Alexandria Fragrances. I'm going to be honest with you guys, they're really good. So I'm excited to share these with you. So stay tuned. Cue that intro. Whoop-dee! It didn't go to the intro, did it? Shit. Yeah, Maestro, cue that intro. Welcome back, Fragrance family, to another episode of My Two Cents. My name is Brian, and this is the show all about boosting your confidence through the art of fragrance and becoming a lasting scent memory. Real quick, I just want to thank all of you who have subscribed to this channel. Man, you guys are awesome. I love y'all. Really appreciate it. I'm so blessed to be a part of your fragrance family. And if you're new to this channel and you're interested in hearing about clones or just talking about anything related to fragrance, well, then you're in the right spot. Do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. My 2 cents, it's completely free. Costs you absolutely nothing. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I'm posting new content. Throw me up one of these and drop me some comments down below. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Now let's get into the fragrances. Just a real quick reminder, if you haven't watched my episode of What Women Want, it's going to be right here. I've got a giveaway going on to win this brand new 50 ml of Tom Ford's Black Orchid. Go check that episode out after this one's done to see how to qualify for this contest. Okay, Alexandria Fragrances. Now, guys, like I said, I don't know if you've watched my Oak Chub video. Another great clone house that I've stumbled into. And Alexandria Fragrances is the same. TLTG Reviews, Ross over there, he talks about Alexandria Fragrances a lot. And I just recently really started getting into clones. So I have 6 in my collection, and I'm excited to share them with you. So without further ado, let's get into the Attack of the Clones, whiffs and sniffs. All the fragrances are right here, right here next to me, all 6 of them. Most of them I have the actual fragrance that they're inspired by. One of them I've only got the sample vial, it's a little dabber. And the other one, which I'll get into shortly, I can't find in any of the boxes that I've been unpacking from moving, which is unfortunate because, yeah, I really enjoy this fragrance. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop into the first one. The first one we'll be talking about is Nostalgia. So this fragrance is inspired by MFK's Oud Satin Mood, which I only have this little 5 ml of Oud Satin Mood. I love it. I do. It's not my favorite, though. I'm going to be completely honest. If you've seen my 10 best ouds to boost your mood, you'll know that oud is actually my favorite, MFK's oud. I do love this one, though, but I wanted to see if Nostalgia is as nostalgic as this. I don't know. Not really sure why they called it Nostalgia. I don't know. So the main players in this are going to be vanilla, rose, powdery notes, and Laotian oud. Now, the crazy thing about this is, out of the atomizer, it smells so much like Oud Satin Mood, like spot on. But once you spray it, the initial blast is, I don't want to just say synthetic. It does smell kind of synthetic, but not really. It doesn't hit every single keynote that Oud Satin Mood does. This is a lot more powdery right off, like in the initial blast. But as it starts drying down, I would say this is like 85% MFK's Oud Satin Mood. And then when it really dries down, it's almost 90% there. So all of Alexandria Fragrances are extract de parfum. So yeah, really high concentration of oils, and this thing lasts. So MFK is the better fragrance. If you don't have the money for it, and you want something that smells damn near close to it, yeah, don't be ashamed. Go check out Alexandria Fragrances. They're really good. This next one is inspired by, yeah, Parfums de Marly, Layton. I will always love this fragrance. It's one of my favorites, and I'll never stop loving it. But Royal Equestrian, oh my God, it is so close. Top players in this are going to be vanilla cardamom. I get this minty, nutty caramel apple out off the top, which I also get from Layton. But a lot of people talk about that menthol note. This, I don't get as much menthol in this. It's definitely heavier on the vanilla, which I enjoy. Both of these, yeah, they definitely last like all stinking day. This garners me a ton of compliments. This, as of late, has garnered me a lot of compliments. I really enjoy it. For 42 bucks for Extrait de Parfum, I mean, it's killer. Killer. I think this is $310 for 4.2 ounce, 125 ml. Still, better fragrance. This, damn near close. I would say 90% Parfums de Marly Layton. It's really stinking good. So this next one, sadly, is the one that I can't find the bottle for. I don't actually have a full bottle of it. I have a 10 milliliter decant of it. So the fragrance is Zion. The fragrance that this is inspired by is Roja, Elysium, Parfum Cologne, which is an incredible fragrance. This Roja Dove makes beautiful fragrances. I mean, so beautiful. They will cost you an arm and a leg. The only reason I haven't gotten a full bottle of any Roja Parfums at the moment is price. And the ones that I've sampled, I just don't get I don't get great performance out of it. I don't know if it's my skin or my pH balance, my skin chemistry. I'm not sure. But I have Vetiver, I have Scandal, I've got Danger, I've got Creation E, which actually I get great performance out of that one. And so I also get great performance out of Scandal. And Elysium, I do not get good performance, unfortunately. But this, I get great longevity out of it. Grapefruit, Vetiver, blackcurrant, beautiful floral notes, beautiful citruses. This actually leans a little bit more on the Aventus side than Elysium. This is still, once it starts drying down, yeah, it does smell like Elysium. But it's just not, it doesn't smell as natural. It's still stinking good. I would say it's about 80% Elysium. But man, it would be really hard to like really get a really good clone of a Roja Dove fragrance. I mean, I've got Dua's Midnight with Mobster, and that's really close to the original Enigma. But it's still not as good. Still great, just not as great. But yeah, longevity on this, 10 plus hours on my skin. If you're looking for Elysium on a budget, Zion. Next up, Purple Haze. I totally thought this was going to be a cannabis fragrance. I'm going to be honest. When I think Purple Haze, I think, well, first of all, a bead of beer. Second of all, wacky tobacco. I mean, just to be honest. But Purple Haze is inspired by, which you're not going to be able to see it, but this little guy. Initio Parfums, Prive, Psychedelic Love. And then I got it. When I put the two and two together, I was like, oh, Psychedelic Love. Huh, makes sense. Yeah. This is pretty spot on. I mean, again, this is going to be about that 90%. Great longevity. Definitely going to be balsamic, woody, powdery. It hits a lot of the ticks of Psychedelic Love. I don't think Psychedelic Love is going to be a full bottle purchase for me. Could be. I don't know. I think this really scratches the itch for me. Just to be completely honest. Psychedelic Love really isn't really my jam. I do like powdery fragrances. I like balsamic and woody fragrances. But I've got a lot of fragrances that are like this. If you were thinking about getting Psychedelic Love, but you just can't find the money for it, 42 bucks. Give it a shot. Might scratch that itch for you. I do have to say this about clone houses. A lot of people say they're just not creative. They're not doing anything special. Well, a lot of these clone houses are bringing back fragrances that are discontinued. They get into cool things like hybrids. They also put out their own creative fragrances. They also put out their own works of art. But they do a really good job of also recreating fragrances that are super expensive. And for people who can't afford those fragrances, I totally get it. I totally support it. So this next one is going to be a hybrid. And I don't own either of these fragrances. But I wanted to see what they would smell like if they were blended together. And it's Tuscan King. Yeah, Tuscan leather and Aventus. And it's pretty awesome. So you get that leathery booger sugar kind of opening. You also get a little bit of that raspberry from Tuscan leather, but you also get some pineapple and blackcurrant. And then it has a bit of smokiness at the end from birch, a little bit of that apple. It's crazy how they just melded these two together. I know Dua does a lot of them. Alexandria Fragrances does a lot of them. And I'm going to try a lot of these hybrids. I think it's a pretty stinking cool concept. Instead of having to buy two fragrances and layer them together, you can buy one fragrance that's already layered together. It's a twofer. Okay, the last one is inspired by one of my top 3 Tom Ford fragrances. And the inspiration behind this is Plum Japonais. And it's called Forbidden Plum. And this one right here, this one I'll be wearing more than Plum Japonais. Not because it's better than Plum Japonais, because it hits so many of the marks of Plum Japonais. It's spicy. The plum is so close to what Plum Japonais is. Oh, the oud in it is so good. I mean, they did a really good job. I love Plum Japonais. And Plum Japonais actually lasts pretty well on my skin. I get about 8 hours. With this, I get 10 plus. Oh my God, it's warm, it's spicy, it's resinous, it's dark, it's sexy, it's delectable, it's decadent, it's beautiful. And for 42 bucks again, I'm not even going to tell you what I paid for my Plum Japonais. Plum Japonais being discontinued, that sucks. But I'm really glad Alexandria Fragrances has Forbidden Plum because, yeah, this is like over 90%, 90+% Plum Japonais. Not as elegant, stinking close. Stinking close. So Hani Hafez, the perfumer, the man behind the fragrances at Alexandria, I think he does a bang-up job. I know a lot of people are, they hate on clone houses and inspired by or dupes or whatever, but again, like I've said before, they hold their place in my fragrance world. And I hope that they do in yours as well. Because if you don't have the money for Creed Aventus or, Plum Japonais or Tuscan Leather or any of these fragrances, don't bend over backwards. Don't break the bank just because your friends have it or you really, really want it. There's so many ways of smelling that way. So definitely check out Alexandria Fragrances. He's got such a huge collection over there, and he does a bang-up job. And this is not a paid video. I'm not getting paid to say any of this. Yeah. So there it is, guys. The attack of the clones. Pew, pew, pew. I don't know why I just did that, but whatever. I'm excited to keep adding clones to my arsenal back here. Actually, a subscriber commented, he said, I like to use clones over the actual fragrance that I have because I get to save the actual fragrance and wear the clone because it kind of saves me money. And that totally makes sense. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And remember, you're stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.